From a sinister village made for little people, to creepy piano music that is heard from underneath a 30-foot lake, here are the 5 scariest places in Connecticut. Number 1. Dudleytown. Located in Cornwall, Dudleytown was a small settlement that was founded in the mid-1740s by English settlers. One particular family that helped create the settlement was the Dudley family. Legend has it that the Dudleys descended from Edmund Dudley, an English nobleman who was beheaded for treason during the reign of King Henry VII. From that point on, the Dudley family was placed under a curse that would follow them to America, as an unusually large amount of the Dudleys began to mysteriously die off in their newfound settlement. The curse also extended to the village that they helped found, as the once prosperous settlement of Dudleytown would eventually fall to crop failures and a decrease in settlers. Eventually, the settlement's population dwindled until the last resident abandoned what was left of the town. The story goes that anyone who has tried to live in what was once known as Dudleytown has been met with some sort of calamity. There are reports of unsettling feelings of dread, as well as an unusual amount of silence, absence of any animal life inside the abandoned settlement. One man even reported finding a dead horse that hadn't decomposed yet inside the settlement that was covered with branches. Many people have also reported having multiple car problems upon arrival to Dudleytown. There are also allegations of paranormal experiences, ranging from witnessing spirits to demonic possessions that have led to suicides. The abandoned town has now gained attention from thrill-seeking enthusiasts, ghostbusters, as well as participants of demonic rituals. It is highly advised that you do not take anything from Dudleytown, as the curse may fall upon you too.
Number 2. Little People Village. Concealed away in the woods of Middlebury, Connecticut, lies a mysterious deserted settlement filled with decaying doll-sized houses and strange structures next to the remains of a stone house. This place is known as Little People Village, and there's a local tale that surrounds the village and its history. There are different versions of the tale, but most of them tend to agree that a husband and wife once lived peacefully in a stone house in the woods of Middlebury. The wife eventually began to see small fairy-like creatures in the forest and demanded her husband build a village for them. The wife believed she was the queen of the little people, and she also instructed her husband to build her a throne into the side of a hill. In one variation of the story, the wife was instructed to kill her husband after he dared to sit on the throne, but then the fairy-like people killed the wife, or at least persuaded her to do the act herself. In another variation of the story, the husband couldn't take his wife's bizarre requests and mental instability anymore, so he then killed her and then killed himself. Legend has it that the throne is cursed, and whoever sits on the throne will die within 7 years. No one has been able to uncover the history of the couple, but many people who now visit the Little People Village claim it's haunted by the spirits of the little people or the ghosts of those that were tormented by them. Many state that there's an eerie atmosphere that can be felt surrounding the village, and if you stay long enough, you can hear the voices of little people, and that soon you too will descend into madness.
Number 3. Fairfield Hills State Hospital. Located in Newtown, Fairfield Hills State Hospital was opened in 1932 to ease overcrowding of mentally ill patients in other state hospitals. The 16 buildings housed over 4,000 criminally insane patients and were all connected by a series of underground tunnels. Behind closed doors and out of public view, the state hospital carried out electric shock therapy, hydrotherapy, psychosurgery, and frontal lobotomies. Stories of abuse and cruelty were rampant, resulting in a few suicides and mysterious deaths. Upon its closing in 1995, the abandoned state hospital has gained a legendary reputation of being haunted. Disembodied voices have been heard throughout the hospital, and it is said that these are the voices of the former patients screaming in agony and pain as they were subjected to abuse. Many have also claimed to see a young petite woman dressed in white surrounded by a glow. She has been reported to roam the grounds of the state hospital and stare through the windows of the abandoned buildings. Many believe she is the apparition of a former patient. There are rumors that the abandoned hospital is set up for demolition, but for now, it remains one of the most haunted places in the state.
Number 4. Gunntown Cemetery. Located in Naugatuck, Connecticut, is the alleged haunted Gunntown Cemetery, which is one of the oldest cemeteries in the area and dates back to 1790. What makes Gunntown Cemetery different from other haunted cemeteries is that there's no known legend or tragic event that has occurred there to account for all the hauntings and paranormal activity. Beyond the iron gate and inside the stone walls that enclose the cemetery lay many different kinds of phenomena. One of the most common phenomena reported is the sound of children's laughter and music that can be heard coming from within the cemetery walls. Some have claimed seeing a black dog that appears and then quickly vanishes. Many see this dog as a foreshadowing sign of death, and there are allegations that although two people may be staring in the same direction, only one of them might see the black dog. A man carrying a lantern and leading a horse through the cemetery, as well as a little boy who plays by the back and then suddenly vanishes, have also been reportedly seen. People who have investigated the cemetery have recorded orbs, mists, and electronic voice phenomena. Famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren have also investigated Gunntown Cemetery and deemed it officially haunted. Many of those who have ventured into the cemetery during the night have claimed that there are sudden drops in temperature, feelings of dread, and an overall feel of creepiness.
Number 5. Gardner Lake. Located in Salem, Connecticut, lies a small lake that is known for its beauty, its great source of fishing, and an entire house that sits at the bottom of the lake. In 1895, a man by the name of Thomas LeCount wanted to move his two-story house from one side of the lake to the other. He and his family placed the house on sleds and waited until the lake completely froze over before moving it across the lake. LeCount wasn't able to complete the task in one day, so he and his family left the house on the lake for the night and decided to finish the job the very next day. Unfortunately, when they arrived, they found that the ice had broken enough to sink a portion of the house. They managed to collect most of their belongings except for the larger items such as a couch and the piano. The house did not completely sink until a few years later, where it made its new home at the bottom of the 30-foot lake. The really weird and creepy part about all this is that many people who now visit and fish at Gardner Lake claim that they can hear faint piano music coming from under the lake. Many scuba divers have reported that the house is still intact as well as the piano. Question is, who's playing the piano?